momentarily. So check at the bottom of the screen. If it's not visible, click on the More button. It's the three dots. And then you'll select the assigned room, either A or B, and you can click Join. And although you're able to leave the room at any time, we encourage you to pick one room and stick around and support the intergenerational conversations happening. And remember, the sessions are being recorded, and be sure to use closed captions and chat box as needed. So with that being said, our moderators and core team, you'll be able to do your intros once we set you off into your rooms. Wonderful, wonderful. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, everyone. So it looks like we are already sharing our screen. So what I'll quickly do, no introductions have happened yet, correct?
No, Lisa, no. I think we're still waiting on Ebenezer and some to join.
Okay, well, wonderful. We will give it another second. In any case, I can start my intro and then I can pass it on
Yes.
to Stephen. Hi, good to see you.
Good to see you as well.
Oh, it's so wonderful. And you're in a new location for this, aren't you?
I'm in Malta for the time being for this call, but actually the same time zone as the Nigerian, so it's relatively helpful.
Okay, okay. Well, let me check the breakout rooms to see if people are stuck in breakout room Zoom Ether. Okay. Looks like Ebenezer has not joined, but he is around.
Yeah, Ebenezer's around. We actually had a call earlier this morning with the team, so they were all saying they would be joining earlier, but who knows um, what
Okay.
may
What
happen
I'll
in
do
that.
is I'll get started and then I will go into tech support and see if I can find Ebenezer.
And I'll message him as well on WhatsApp here.
Okay, wonderful. All right. Well, let's get started. Welcome to World Futures Day, Young Voices 2025. This session is brought to you by Teach the Future, a global nonprofit dedicated to embedding futures literacy in education worldwide. World Futures Day is a partnership with the Millennium Project. And right now, we are all part of a 24-hour global conversation about our futures, creating a space where all generations, especially young voices, can share their visions, concerns, and action-driven projects towards a better tomorrow. This will be streamed on YouTube, so let's make this conversation count. Share your thoughts and join the global discussion using hashtag WFDYV. So now with that, facilitators, you can take it away.
Okay, great. Thanks, Lisa. And we are recording, correct?
Yes.
Okay, great. So I am going to temporarily facilitate here in the absence of, it looks like, the entire rest of the team. So I'll do a little covering here for the time being. When you do these things in Africa, you not only have the backup plan, but the backup to the backup to the backup, because invariably something happens, like power outage, or in West Africa, a coup can happen at a moment's notice, it seems like. So, let me just we don't have a slide presentation. Everything is on a Miro board. So get let me get that board up here. So can you see the kind of the title slide and a little bit of some narrative to the side?
Yes, yes.
There we are. Okay. Well, Miro actually lets you do things here um, in a in a presentation mode. So Lisa, maybe just blurt in when you see Ebenezer pop into the room,
Wonderful. Will do.
and then I'll kind of cover from there. So we'll probably maybe do um, um, some introductions here when they actually pop in. But what this group put together was just looking at some of the strategies. And I actually was in the session prior to this with Scott um, and Elsa, and saw even some things that were happening in Malaysia that were also, we want to highlight here on the African continental side. So what there's we talk about the youth bulge in Africa, and currently the AU suggests that there's around 400 million youth. Now, youth in Kenya also, or in the continent, is loosely defined. The United Nations uses 15 to 24, and the African Union uses 15 to 35. So we do have approximately another 10 years of a demographic group that is added to youth. But it is anticipated to be around 800 million in 2050. So we're talking about a large population that is here. So we're going to hear from Ebenezer. I see Ebenezer, if you want to put your mic on mute temporarily here, getting some background noise. We're going to hear from Ebenezer. We're going to hear from another team in Nigeria. And then if Nehemiah is on the call from Ethiopia, we're going to hear from him. And then I'll just conclude with a little bit of some of the work that we're doing in Kenya. So, Ebenezer, I'll turn it over to you now.
Okay. Can you hear me? Am I audible enough?
Yes.
Have you been able to join your breakout room? Since you are in breakout room A, could you join your room?
This is my room.
Did you get the invite to join the room? Can you locate the breakout room?
Okay, we will sort out some. I think Ebenezer is having some of his students join him in his call, but let me go to his. Actually, I think I'm going to jump in first here, Lisa, and let Ebenezer kind of get some things sorted on his end. I was planning on doing this more toward the end. So just real quickly, one of the things that youth face is related to some of the challenges. And if you look kind of here on the upper left of this screen is something that we refer to with an organization I'm working with as the realm of four ACEs. So this is adverse childhood, adverse community, adverse climate, and adverse cultural sort of experiences as a way of setting the space for kind of the ecosystem that some youth, not all youth, but some youth are coming from. Now, obviously, there's the inverse of this, that some come from positive childhood, positive community, positive cultural, and positive they're living in a very stable sort of environment. But one of the things that we do is we work with 18 to 24-year-olds and really train them to be what we call circle keepers. And then this group in turn works with Vijana, which is kind of adolescence in Swahili. This is the 13 to 17-year-olds. And then Watoto, which is children, which is 10 to 12-year-olds. And so what we do is walk them through a 12-week program that really helps them understand the adverse experiences that many of them have incurred. So we do this often in conflict-prone sort of settings. This is on the coast of Kenya, where some youth are coming out of gangs, some coming out of Al-Shabaab, coming out of terrorist sort of organizations and so forth, but just also the long-term detriments that arise from poverty. And so one of the things that we're finding is that their self-esteem is increasing, their understanding of their family is increasing. They have a more positive outlook on life and so forth. This is after a 12-week program that's happening 2 or 3 hours every Saturday. That's youth-led, youth-facilitated in small groups of 10 to 12 sort of individuals. And I'll just touch on just this idea of moving them from this kind of state of futures unconsciousness to a state of futures consciousness. So many of you are probably familiar with the future consciousness scale. The 5 dimensions are on the left side of the screen. And so it's just really encouraging to see youth. The way I describe it is the dimmer switch or the rheostat on a light switch, where it's dim and it gets brighter and brighter and brighter. And so I've worked in international development for 20, 25 years. And this is probably one of the most effective programs I've ever seen, where you literally can see the results. If you would go in and sit with this group when they first start on day 1, week 1, and revisit the teams, revisit these small groups 12 weeks later, you would be seeing substantial changes in the volume of the talk, the discussion, the empowerment. The youth are often very shy in Africa, and so head is down, and they speak directly in front of them. So it's a very almost a disempowered sort of embodiment of how they're projecting. But in 12 weeks, they're upright, they're speaking, they're engaged, their energy, and so just a rapid sort of transition that happens there. So that's just a little synopsis. We're going to weave together this kind of experience with what Ebenezer can share now with Nigeria. And then if Nehemiah is in here, we can jump back to Ethiopia and hear a little bit of his experience. So Ebenezer, hopefully you're set on your end with your team, and I'm going to go back to your slide here if you want to take over now.
Ebenezer, are you able to come off mic?
Yeah. Okay. You know, before we were having challenges of this, I was using my device of Android to join before, but I figured it out. Okay. Good morning. Good evening.
Ebenezer, we're getting quite an echo from you. Do you have 2 devices on?
From the other one.
Absolutely. Let me check. Ebenezer.
I think I've logged out.
Ebenezer, you're going to need to scale everything down. I think you need to remove all cameras, and you only can have one mic working, because we're getting significant delays on this end.
Okay, the echo, I think it's no more there.
I would also just turn your camera off, Ebenezer, so we can get the best bandwidth.
Okay, I will do that.
Oh, it's so lovely to see you, Ebenezer. Oh, man. Here we go. Let's try again.
Using system for connecting. I don't know whether I'm audible now.
You can proceed, Ebenezer. We can hear you.
Oh, no.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, okay. Well, Stephen, it appears that Ebenezer's the feedback is not working.
Let's maybe switch to Emmanuel. I see your camera is on. Emmanuel, do you can you switch to your mic? And Emmanuel, switch on your mic and go ahead and kind of give you.
Not for my end.
Emmanuel, are you there? Sorry for these technical difficulties. As I mentioned, was fully anticipating this. Lisa, Emmanuel was in the room and now it looks like he's jumped out.
Oh, okay. We can. Are you able to support Ebenezer's project?
Yeah, I mean, this is why I wanted the.
What is going on with Ebenezer? Okay.
Yeah, his mic is not working. What I wanted to do was to have the backup slides with a chance for people to I think what you're seeing now are several photos of Ebenezer's team. Is that correct? Okay, great. So in lieu of Ebenezer's really bad feedback loop on his side, and in lieu of Emmanuel's oh wait, I see Emmanuel in here. Emmanuel, are you able to share now? I had another slide. Okay, great. Yeah, Emmanuel, do you want to share? Do you want to share now?
Yes, I want to share now.
Maybe turn your camera off so we get the best. We just get your audio.
All right. So you can hear me very well now, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So I am Emmanuel, the co-founder of Sub-Saharan Initiative, and also an ambassador of Communities We Connect. I am an alumnus of Best Intellectual Model School. And currently, I'm on my gap year. I'm pioneering as a tutor. So it's my pleasure to speak to you all today on transforming challenges into opportunities. So I will start by sharing my story. As I said earlier, I am the co-founder of this initiative. So I started this initiative called Pen to combat the unsafe and harmful treatment given to children in my community. A little bit, please. Okay, sorry for the pause. So I will continue. So I started the initiative to combat the unsafe and harmful treatment given to children in my community when they are ill. So I come from an Eastern community in Nigeria and Abia State, and most of the children undergo harmful treatment like when they have convulsions. So this fueled my urge to do something about it because I have empathy and I knew something needed to be done. So this was a challenge to me. Why did I say this was a challenge to me? There were two main reasons. The first one is I didn't know where to start and I didn't know what to do. These two factors, lack of knowledge and fear, are the same reason many of us hesitate to seize opportunities. We recognize the need to overcome challenges, but most times, due to fear and anxiety, are always found as a barrier between us and our opportunity. So today, I would love to share a few key lessons that really helped me cross the bridge from challenges to opportunities. The first I would like to talk about is identifying fears and weakness. When we identify our fear and weaknesses, that's what we can do. We know our needs, our strengths, knowledge, our surround myself with the right people. When you are faced with that, the best is to surround yourself with like-minded individuals who have overcome the same challenges as you, or those that possess the same qualities you lack. Talk to like-minded individuals and bring them along on your journey. This will surely help, and this also helped me because during my period as starting the initiative, I tried to engage some people, most especially the co-founder of Community to Connect. So surrounding ourselves with the right people and engaging those with similar challenges or that possesses similar qualities.
My journey. The third one, which is the last one I would like to talk about, is shifting our focus from what seems to be the problem to the action. Too often, we seem to dwell on the challenges instead of focusing on the steps needed to overcome our challenges. So when we start thinking about the solution to the obstacles we are facing or to the challenges we are facing, then we begin to see ourselves move forward. This was the same to my story. I was advised, I was mentored by the people around me to focus on what I could do instead of focusing on what the problem is. So when you focus on what you can do to overcome a particular challenge, then you see. My hope is that the insights that we all listen today will inspire each of us to turn our challenges into opportunities. Always remember that the bridge is there. You just need to take a stop. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Emmanuel. And for those of you that had a hard time understanding some of that with the background and noise. There is a PDF of what Emmanuel and his team was sharing about. That's currently being shared on the screen. We'll also add that to the mural board here, but I'll leave this up for a second. Ebenezer, I'm curious. Lisa, Ebenezer tried to log off and log in on a new device. Maybe is he might be in the main room, but he should be able to find room A, I believe, right?
I will check on this right now. Thanks, Stephen.
Okay, before that, if Mr. Steve, if you are through with your own, so that maybe one of my students will share his own as I figure the other one out.
Okay, great. Your voice is coming through now, Ebenezer. So let me go back to the one slide for your team, and we'll let your team take over now.
Okay, I hope I'm in the right breakout room, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
The floor is yours, Ebenezer.
Okay. I think you can hear me clearly now.
Yes.
Okay, now this is Ebenezer Anyadiegwu, a STEM educator, and these are my students. I would like to use the opportunity to welcome the Young Innovators Club, represented by the leader and the vice leader. They are going to share one or two things about the insights in their projects as is there in that particular board there, so that after sharing, I'll now do the conclusion of what we have done so far in a kind of transforming challenges into opportunities for growth. So I welcome Raphael and his team to share a bit about what they have done so far.
Good day, everyone. My name is Odeh Raphael, and I am the vice leader of our Young Innovators Club. I'm honored to represent our club at Bodeda High School Junior. Today, I want to share the work we are doing to solve real problems in our school and community through innovation. The challenge in our community, many families struggle with unreliable electricity, high cooking fuel costs, and plastic waste pollution. This affects learning productivity, and the environment. Without access to clean energy, many students find it difficult to study at night, and our environment is being harmed by impower waste disposal. Our solution: to address these issues, our club has been working on household appliances innovations powered by solar and biogas energy solution. We collect damaged electrical appliances, recycle, upcycle plastic waste, and repurpose materials for play and to create useful, eco-friendly solutions.
Hello.
We repair.
Can you hear
Hello.
him?
Hi.
Hello, can you hear him?
Yes.
Okay, someone was saying hello as if we can't hear him. Okay, let me allow him to continue from where he stopped.
We repair and modify appliances to run on solar power, reducing reliance on unstable electricity. We develop a biogas system to convert waste into clean cooking energy, reducing firewood and deforestation. Our impact so far: we have trained students in other underserved schools on cleaning energy innovations. We have reduced plastic waste pollution by repurposing materials for our projects. Some families in our community are now adopting biogas cooking solutions, improving health and reducing costs. Our project is helping students gain STEM skills and preparing them to be future-ready problem solvers. In conclusion, In conclusion, we believe that young people can create solutions to our biggest challenges. We are grateful for the support of our teachers, school, and partners. We are grateful for the support of our teachers, school, and partners, and we look forward to expanding our impact. Thank you.
Okay. I hope the information and his communication was very clear. Hello, Mr. Steve, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Ebenezer.
Okay. So now, in addition to what he has done or what he has said so far, in the Young Innovators Club, we are trying to turn some challenges in the community into an opportunity for growth, in the sense that just as he says, in the community where they are residing, being their school, they found a kind of a huge challenge, which is a posing threats, talking about the environmental pollution, plastic waste, and that of energy poverty, which I call grid failure. So in the particular challenges they found, using project-based learning and the problem-solving skills, now they kind of integrated their skills by collaborating together to find ways of solving this particular challenge. So by so doing, through inquiries and investigation they have done so far, they now collaborated and they figure out that since there are discarded materials in the environment, and also there is a problem which is lack of electricity, they can now use their creative skills by collecting those particular discarded plastic and electronic wastes and repurpose it in order to produce solar powered appliances. So the children now collaborated in that aspect to bring that particular solution into life. Now, this is not just because of them, because there are many underserved communities in not only in Nigeria, in Africa, as a case study, where that needs this particular challenge, this particular kind of solution. In that aspect, it is high time for us to encourage young ones, students and the adolescents, even youths, to be creative, to be problem solvers, to have that particular change mindset, where they are able to look around them and see some challenges that is posing threats to their future, posing threat to their academic pursuits, posing threat to their endeavors. They now look beyond those obstacles and think how to use that obstacles, that stumbling blocks, as a stepping stone, so that they can create opportunities through it in order to address some of their challenges and provide solution to their problems. Because while waiting for maybe governments or waiting for other people to come to your doorstep and provide solutions to what you are passing through, it may take time, and if something is not done urgently, it may lead to maybe loss of life or damages, environmental pollution, or even a kind of a loss of our ecosystem. So one should be proactive in terms of solving the particular problems around. That is a kind of encouragement and a challenge we need to give to our youth. Now, in our education system, we need to encourage educators to ensure that their work is not only in literary or only classroom activities. They should also be innovators. They should also be forward thinkers, where they will look at the challenges they see in the community, because without a community, there will not be a school. School thrives in the community. Community owns the school. So when these two things collaborate, two entities, the school communities and the stakeholders in the school sector and that of the community, they collaborate together, it will help to bring the best out of the children, because the children are the tomorrow we are seeing. They are the brighter future we are seeing, those that will hand over the baton of success, the baton of this particular race to continue. So if we can collaborate and make sure that teachers inculcate problem-solving skills, these particular 21st century skills in the life of children or students, using STEM education, using that of inquiry-based learning or project-based learning to educate, making sure that what they learn in school is not only theoretical aspect to pass examination, but they learn in school to become entrepreneurs, they learn in school to become problem solvers, so that when they are graduating, whether it is from primary or secondary or high school or colleges or universities, we know that we are producing students that are forward thinkers. We are providing problem solvers in the community. So that is the aspect that the children, or the particular innovative aspect of these children, are engineering. And presently, just as it shared, we are diversifying to other communities, underserved communities, to make sure that we kind of empower them or educate them on this particular initiative, so that they will have that mindset in order to turn their challenges into opportunities for success. Now, in my conclusion, so that if there's any question, they can share, I have this particular footnotes to share that innovation is not just about technology, but it's about solving real world problems. As well, clean energy access is a right thing to do. It's not just a privilege. Our youths they have to step up. They're stepping up to create solution to this, because we know that we have energy problem or poverty in different countries, in different places. Youth can step up to back up last challenge. Then next one is waste is not only a waste. If we fail to see it as a potential for transformation, many wastes we see around the environment, around our localities, our school. If we can think, it's not only a waste. If we can see potentials of transformation, recycling, upcycling to turn it into a wealth, we can see that it is another way of forward thinking. Then by equipping young minds with STEM education, we empower them to lead Africa's future, to lead the world. So we invite educators, organizations, and partners to support us to scale the initiative, to support the youth-led solutions across the world through different ways to ensure that youths across Africa and across the globe are empowered to be problem solvers, and also to be a kind of solution carriers in all their endeavors. Thank you, and I appreciate the opportunity as we wait for if there's any question or any contribution so far. Over to you, Mr. Steve.
Thanks, Ebenezer. Your voice came much stronger when you reconnected, so that is great. So let's maybe, we have about 20 minutes. Lisa, I know we kind of always go right up to the hour, but let's maybe try to wrap up a few minutes early so we can have some time for transition and so forth. But in the next 15 minutes, maybe turn it over to questions. I know some of the people here on the call, Tom, Basir, Carol. Any questions from your end, or anyone else? Someone who has their real hand up. What is
Please.
it? Yes, go ahead.
How can the UNICEF jobs in the Africa healthy, help the people in Gaza or in Syria or in the country? How can
you restate the question again? How can
be the people of the world in healthy people the Gaza or Syria? How can participate it for UNICEF or all this يعني الخيارات you can transition my language by from Algeria. I am from Algeria, but my question is how can the people meet with me or with the people of Arabic help these countries, Gaza or
yeah.
You can
Yeah, I think I
you
understand.
understand? I am English not very well. يعني.
No. Just Ebenezer, be thinking of your response. But my my quick response is Africa unfortunately gets delineated between Sub-Saharan Africa and North Africa. So we kind of create this line through the Sahel, Morocco, Tunisia, Algeria, Libya, Egypt, North Africa. But the reality is it's all one continent. And I think Morocco actually has some really good models of how Morocco is not trying to engage with all of the continent, but Morocco is very
how
engaged.
كان الخيارات how كان الخيارات كيف نقولوا الخيارات بالإنجليزية subscribe for UNICEF people.
Yeah. I'm not sure I'm
How
fully...
can subscribe in Algeria, for example?
Yeah. Ebenezer, do you have a response?
The question that she's sharing is not very clear. She's trying to kind of ask if their nation Algeria can join UNICEF, or if any nation like Arabic countries want to join UNICEF. Okay, yeah, if they want to join UNICEF, they go through the process and join the organization, but it does not limit whether they have joined or not. It does not limit them to create maybe solutions to their challenges. But if they want to join, they can still join because it's open. But no matter anything, it's not a criteria that whether they join UNICEF or they have not joined, therefore they will relax and they will be passing through some challenges and they will not think of how to address it, or they will not build the education sector.
Yes, how yes, how help these people, how يعني كيف يقدمون المساعدات بالإنجليزية وكيف يستطيعون الانخراط في هذه المنظمة I don't know بالإنجليزية.
Okay, just like I said, if they want to join UNICEF, they can pass through the normal process and register and be enrolled with UNICEF. It's as easy as ABC.
Yes. UNICEF, so how can be in yes.
If there is any other thing you want to ask, you can put in the chat box. Let us address it there.
Yeah, let's move it. If you can even have Google Translate from the Arabic to English, post the question in the chat box. But actually, I wanna Ebenezer, I wanna ask if Moses is in this call. And Moses, you are in Kenya, correct? If you can come off of mute.
Okay. Moses,
I see that you're in the room, but you're on mute. And anyway, I've messaged him as well. He had expressed interest as well, but we can't get a hold of him. Any other questions from anyone else here in the room? Raise your hand or just unmute and dive in.
I saw a question that say, how can people help and support this initiative in Africa and other areas? The question from Jenny Nair.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, go for it, Ebenezer.
Okay, from the chat box. So how can people help and support these initiatives? Just as I shared earlier, that first and foremost, the first thing there is if it's a kind of the initiative that is already in existence, like our own, to support or to address this is just to reach out to us, and we kind of tell you one or two things and areas we need to cover, and other things you can be your support. Then secondly, if the support you are talking about is a kind of how can this initiative go to other areas that have not been existing, the first thing there is that before you seek for support, because based on the experiences we have gathered so far, I found out that Can you hear me? Yeah, I found out that before you talk about people to help to sponsor your initiative or to a kind of to help to support it, they need a prototype. What does it mean by a prototype? Start from a little. Now that when you look around in the environment or anything you want to do, look at the solution you can create, whether as an organization, as an individual, as a student initiative. If there's a problem you can solve or you can kind of do, then start from the little. When you begin to have a prototype or sample, just like the pictures we have shown of what we have done so far, now you begin to kind of portray it to organizations and others for sponsorship. You can also kind of engage into online competitions where you exhibit your projects or other things, where you can still have potential sponsors and other helpers. That is where you can sponsor it. But in Africa, that is why we are doing this particular kind of what I call it advocacy and as well educating others. In Africa, we have the particular challenge that people don't look beyond the immediate. What we are always thinking is maybe that of our formal literacy level. We don't see that the challenges or the problem we are finding in society needs sponsorship. For example, now, we know that the problem we have in Africa, energy poverty is among them, including that of waste pollution and others, not only in Africa, across the globe. But starting from that of Africa, if one can think of many ways to bring a kind of a solution to it into our colleges, universities, you see many universities, graduates, they study this, they study that, but they cannot bring, you see many chemical engineers or electrical engineers, but they cannot kind of have a project during graduation, even though it's a power bank or it is a small toy radio or a small fan or something that they have used so far, or creativity or innovation. So they can look beyond that and think of something they can do, think of something they can create, even though it is a prototype. They can now use it as a sample and see for a kind of a more sponsorship or more encouragement. Irrespective that we're looking at the governments to help out, but majorly individuals, philanthropists, and environmental kind of experts or supporters can sponsor some projects that run towards different categories. It may be a project that runs towards maybe environmental sustainability or towards STEM education or equipment education, or to run towards any of the SDGs, starting from SDG 1 to SDG 17, which helps to bring a kind of a nice stability in the nation or across the globe. So start from somewhere and see for a kind of make your voice heard. Sponsors will come from different angles. That's what I have to say. Thank you.
Thanks, Ebenezer. Emmanuel, do you want to have any kind of closing comments here?
Yeah, thank you for giving me an opportunity to speak again. It's been a very good pleasure to be here today and share my story as I'm co-founder of the Innovators. So I want to say a very big thank you to the organization and also to every youth present in this event. I want to encourage all of us to do something today. No matter how little you have or no matter how little you can do something, you just have to do it. Just like nice just need to do something and then you are good to go. We need to turn our challenges into opportunities. So thank you everyone for joining today, and I'll be leaving after this. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Emmanuel. Ebenezer, there's another question here from Nafisa. What new additions or innovations do you think could enhance the impact of your initiative?
Okay, you say what new additions or innovation do you think could enhance the impact of this initiative? Okay, that is a nice question. If you talk about the innovation or additional innovation that can be added to this initiative, the first thing is, since the initiative started from the school, yes, we need to equip a kind of the school to be a bedrock, because it is where young minds are being bred. It's a place where young minds are being bred. And there's a saying that says, catch them young. Because when they are younger is where you can push it in and they will catch it up. So additional innovations we can add in now is, in our project, we started with two things. The challenges we have in the community is energy poverty, that's lack of electricity or steady grid failure. Then talking about environmental pollution. we started by creating that of a solar powered fans and that of a torches. We collected discarded electronics waste that litters in the environment and collect some useful devices there. Then we collect that of discarded plastic waste and upcycle them, turn it to make, produce a torchlight, blenders and another thing to our home, so that students will have light to read at home. They will pass the exams. They will have maybe fun to have a fresh air because of a excess heat. Now, what can be added to this? If a child can produce a torchlight with waste, if that child is supported with some devices, with some tools, that child can build a searchlight. That child can build a street light, can build a normal distance. So if a child can produce blenders and other distance from discarded waste, if more technology or more support is given to that particular child in the school, you will see that that school will be a hub for innovation, where even companies we can even come and be buying some distance. We have the challenge that in Nigeria or in Africa and some other countries as well, that are more of, they are not a kind of the challenge that they are not a manufacturers. They always import. Electronics we use in the country, almost 80%, if not 100%, is imported from maybe China, from other countries, where there are many talented youths, there are talented students that can create and innovate those things here in this our land, in the village, not even talk about the city. So the support we need, or the additional support we need now is, for example, now, as I was discussing with my club the other time, that if we have huge amount of money or even a little grant, we can partner with maybe a company, let's say a solar power company that is producing some prototype parts, like in Torchlight now we have some panel that is designed for small torchlight, some panel or the electronic boards that is designed for bigger torchlight, and the switches and the bulb and some container that's some parts of it. If we have that kind of company in Nigeria that is ready to support the initiative, we can now go to them. They will sell, if we have the finances, they will sell those particular parts, small. Give us the panel of a torchlight, give us the panel of a blender, give us the panel of a rechargeable lantern. We buy those things parts by parts. We use an initiative and fix it and build it. Students will be producing those things. No more the one that is in the scratch or prototype. It will be originally made in the states, where every community now will have their own solar lights, will have their own solar fan, will have their own, proudly made in their village school. I don't understand what I'm saying. So this is the way that this initiative can be supporting them by collaboration, getting a company that will produce the parts of what they want to produce so that they can get it, and supporting them financially so that they can have enough resources and equipment to go and gather those little parts of things and begin to be entrepreneurs or manufacturers or innovators in their own village, where the world will come and begin to buy and export to their country. It will also help that of other SDGs, like for that of 15 and 16, that of economy and growth of the nation. So that is what I have to say there.
Thanks.
Okay, what about, someone said, what about including unemployment people in the initiative? Can it contribute to the lower unemployment rate? Very good. Including unemployed people in the initiative is very good. Now, depending on the yearnings of those unemployed people, of course, you want to talk about unemployed, the person has become an adult, a youth. When one becomes unemployed, the person is about 18 or more. So in that aspect, if that one have the drive for sustainability, the person can do more. Okay, thank you. It seems that our time is far-fetched, right?
It is. Thank you so much, Ebenezer, and the group and the team of innovators and the young voices, Stephen, for facilitating. This conversation, this subject does not end here whatsoever, Ebenezer. In fact, he's being very humble, but him and his team were awarded. They became finalists for the upcoming South by Southwest EDU Student Challenge in Austin, Texas. So Ebenezer's team and Youth Innovators became student finalists for this prestigious event. So they are being heard and they are being recognized. And there are some forces bigger than us that that are preventing them to attend the event in person, but Ebenezer's team will still be represented online at this event. And so that's just a big round of applause for Ebenezer and his team. We are so appreciative of the work that you're doing in your communities, and